know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag and Underdog Fantasy. The biggest betting weekend of the year is finally here, which means more updated odds and props for Super Sunday. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. We have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, and exclusive in-game live betting. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience. Visit the website today and make the game day action count a little bit more. BetOnline, the game starts here. Want to make some quick cash while enjoying the big game with your family and friends? Together with our friends at Underdog, we got a few exciting things to share with you. First, if you've yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, that's one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to 1,000 smackaroos in bonus cash. New users will also get a Travis Kelce free pick for every new customer who signs up on Underdog before the big game. Secondly, for all existing Underdog users, Underdog is offering a no-sweat Sunday entry for all users, which means that everyone will either cash in on their big game entry or get their money back in bonus credit. If you have no idea how to play, well, we got you covered. Over the last 5 weeks, we have given 19 selections and have cashed on 15 of them. Pretty good. Predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the big game between the Chiefs and Eagles and beyond into the NBA season. So let's make this money and have a damn good time. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. It's our final preview of our game of the 2024-2025 season. And it should be a good one, JD. How are you doing? 4 days to the big show, JD. 4 days to the big show. How are you feeling, brother?
God, 4 days? Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's how I feel, Marcus. That's how I feel. I've been wanting for this thing to happen for a long time. You know, I'm almost grown tired of talking about it, to be honest with you. I'm just wanting these things to be here. And I know the players are feeling the same exact way. But this is one of the necessary things they have to do, get in, talk to the media and wait and get anything more. But so this, man, for me, I've been ready. So I can just imagine how they feel. I can just imagine how they feeling about this. So,
well, you could tell from just seeing Mahomes, some of the answers they have. These guys just want to get out there and play, man. Like, I mean, if like you said, if we're all like kind of, dragging these last few days, we all just want to get to the game. We want the game to be played tonight. But like, if we're feel that way, these guys want to get it over. They want to get that three-peat. They just want to get it done with right now.
Yeah, man. It's just a big production. It's big business in the NFL, and they got to have the whole media thing and everybody around it. Right, the entertainment aspect of it, and there's a whole lot of elements that come into the comprises of the Super Bowl. So it's just not the game in itself; it's everything else that's around it. Of course, down there in New Orleans, all the media that's going on. I'm sure the parties and whatnot. I've gotten so many alerts on things that's happening down there, as far as with like NFL brotherhood and some of those things, right? Parties and things where you could just kind of slide into, get your NFL experience. But, we're going to have some of that stuff myself up this way. I'm going to have a huge Super Bowl party is what I'm going to do on Sunday. But also, too, I got to go and I got to talk on, Channel 56, which is Fox, about this whole Eagles and Chiefs, relationship. Okay, that I've been a part of. And so I am excited, but I'm ready for it to be here. I'm ready for it to be here. So somebody said in here, 4 more days, 4 more sleeps or something like that. 4 more sleeps left. Hey, G-Pick said that. So that's what that is. Man, let me say what's up to everybody that's here in the chat that's coming on in here. All right? From the start. What up, G-Pick? Just said your name out there. I'm the Brown is in who? Woo-hoo! That's how he feels. I feel the same way. Hearts and Roses 15. Go Chiefs. Good to see you, Hearts and Roses. I know you was always ready. Always ready. Witchy Hall's in the house. What up, Witchy Hall? About time, my guy. About time is here. How's it going, About time? Iko? Oh, what's up, guys? What's happening? Nice to be here. All right. I guess you use WhatsApp a lot in the thing, the whole correction and stuff. But yeah, appreciate the Iko. Glad you came in. The barbershop. Let's get it, Chiefs Kingdom. Absolutely. Let's get it. Cherry Kubik? Is that it? That's how you say your name? Okay. Cherry, listen. Hey, we're ready. We're ready. Glad you came and joined us tonight. Glad you came to join us. So that's what Iko said a few days before the day, the D-Day. Jar Marula, today is my birth, but I celebrate on Sunday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Javi. Good to see you, man. Happy birthday to you. So everybody wish Javi a happy birthday, man. If you get a chance. That's a new name. I haven't seen that name in here before. But
I've seen him comment on our videos before. I actually haven't seen him in the live show. So welcome to the lives, man. Welcome to the lives.
Welcome to the live, brother. Welcome to the live. Want to hear your voice. Nana Sherry's in the house. What's up, Nana Sherry? I know she's always got something good to say. Under Brown of Valerie Sanders. Sorry, I missed the live lately. That's all right. Glad you are here with us today in this live right now. Valerie wouldn't be the same without you. So we glad you're here. Okay. Cliff Johnson, my guy. What up, fellas? What's going on, Cliff? Good to see you here. What up, Neff? Not feeling good, well, health-wise, but I feel great about the game. Neff, good seeing you. Love you, Neff. I know you're a little under the weather right now, and I know you're going to get a little bit better. I know that. So you're on the way to healing. So we're giving you all the prayers and whatnot and love to you, Neff. All right. So
love you, Chad.
Yeah. So that's my Neff right there, man. See, I'll give all the prayers and the love to my nephew right here. So
Chad's the man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is, man. It's my heart right there. Maria DeJohnez, what's going on, Maria? Good to see you. Good to see you. Kevin Mars, good to see you, my brother, as well. So Ty Toe Free, good to see you, Ty. Ty done jumped on this way, man. Good to see you, Ty. We're going to have a good conversation talking about some of these things right now. So, yeah, let's get CC Marcus Jason. We're up in this piece. That's what I'm talking about. Ray 028. What's going down, my guy? What's going down? So, yeah, man, it's going to be exciting, man, conversation to talk about some things tonight that, we've been hearing and whatnot. And let me say this, Marcus. I've been listening to some of these things out here, some of these pundits talk and analysts and whatnot. And I'm to be honest with you, sometimes I wonder if people actually watch the Chiefs. You know what I mean? I mean, I've heard some really kind of off the wall commentary just about the Chiefs and what they do offensively and even defensively. Some people are out there, obviously they want us to win, but some is just like, I don't think they really know what our offense is about. Who we got. And they only act like Patrick Mahomes is the only guy that we have. And that's it. So, I don't know. We'll have a good conversation about that too. D. Tate, North Carolina in the building. What's up? UNC, North Carolina, not UNC, but North Carolina. Good to see you, D. Tate. Good to see you. CFOD George, Chiefs fan of Dallas in the house. What's going down? Dallas, what's happening? DFW, what's going down? What's going down? See who else we got in here.
Got a lot of new faces here tonight. I've never seen CFO Chief fans of Dallas, and I've never seen D Tate before. But we got Chiefs Kingdom uniting in the chat tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, it's good. I'm glad to see everybody in the house. Love to see everybody in the house. Listen, if y'all came here tonight for Wednesday to come see us, come in on Friday, okay? Because we're gonna have this whole welcome to the dungeon. Where I get on the board, I put a little couple plays up here just because I had to, put my mind on thoughts on like what we can do offensively against these guys. But Friday, you're going to get a little bit of Coach Dunn, okay? the coach and the player together. And that's what I usually get out there, spit a little fire, having like a somewhat of how would you say it's a motivation speech, I guess, if you will, Marcus. But one thing I do, man, I talk to guys right there in their chest and let them know what this game is all about. So I'm gonna have me a nice one. I'm gonna have me a nice one on Friday. So not
Yeah,
sure what
I'm expecting big things from this one, JD. They've been fantastic all year, but the last one of the year, I guess the season finale, I guess, of the keys to victory.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. So my man down there in Dallas said, I've been trying to join live for weeks, but listen to every show offline. My guy. I appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it so much, man. Definitely. Appreciate you. Sasha's here. What up, Sasha? How you doing? Sasha, now, let me ask Sasha. Sasha, you in here right now. Are you from Kentucky or do you live in Kentucky? You don't have to say where. I just,
I don't believe he lives in Kentucky. I think he went to he went to Western Kentucky, I believe, based on his other comments.
Okay. All right.
I think he played football there too, I believe.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, he lives in Kentucky. Okay.
Okay. All right, cool. That's what I thought. Because you spout out a lot of good stuff I know from Florida, but I got you. So, hey, always good seeing you because you put some good stuff out here that only people that in Kentucky would know things like that. Went to U of L? Okay. All right. DeVille, Louisville. So a lot of people that they're not from Louisville. No, it's Louisville. That's how it is. So, all right, Sash, good seeing you. So, 13 seconds. I love it. Eagles are 31st in passing. Hurts hold on to the ball way too long. And he is the sixth most quarterback in the league, and both the centers are hurt. Chris Jones going to feast. Yes, he is. Yes, sir.
Both centers are hurt, but they're both practicing in full, though. So
yeah. But they're going to be wounded. 13 seconds, wounded. So you said feasting? Hey, the shark, blood in the water. So we're going to be ready for that. Clive Batoa, Chisha, Chala Nation in the house. What's going on? How you doing? Okay. One of our Native Nations in the house. What's going on, my guy? How you doing, brother? How you doing? Good to see you. You've been in here before. Good to have you in here back. Good to see you back, man. So Josh Harrison, Chiefs will make history Sunday night. That's exactly what we're looking for, Josh. That's exactly what we're looking for. We expect that. We do expect that. So everybody needs to be prepared and be ready. How are you going to celebrate the victory? I thought about this, Marcus, the other day. I was just sitting there, I was just like, man, when this thing becomes reality and they finally do it, what are we gonna, how are we gonna respond to this? Right? Like what do you do after that? I mean, I know some people that's gonna tear up, they're gonna cry. I know the guys are gonna go crazy. Last year, when we won the Super Bowl, we had flags out walking down our street and whatnot, doing the whole chant and whatnot. Everybody just enjoyed themselves. And so late at night in my neighborhood, we just had a great time. We just took over the block and it was all Chief stuff. So,
well, I think I know as far as fans, fans are going to celebrate in all different types of ways. Some fans will get plastered. Some fans cry. Some fans will come on to the Chief Concerns post-game show to, celebrate with us. But I do know, I think I do know where the Chiefs are going to go with it. I mean, obviously they're going to celebrate their butts off that night. But I think right after that game, I think we're going to hear Patrick Mahomes go up to Chris Jones or whoever, and there's going to be audio, and it's going to hear him say, "I want a fourth one. I want to get a 4P." That's how they're going to celebrate. They're going to celebrate that night by thinking about the fourth one. That's how they're going to go, and I'm all for it.
You know what? I think with this one, you just got to let this one soak in. Don't even worry about the 4. Just let this one soak in. Okay, just ingest all of it. Just take it every bit that you possibly can, and just sit back and understand that your team, your squad, the guys that you cheer for, okay, Kansas City, that you bleed and wear your heart out for, is going to be celebrating this victory. So we gotta understand it, man, and enjoy it. Who was that I seen? Somebody said they're going to smoke them a big blunt, glass of bourbon. I don't know what that is. But I'm sure you have a good time. Yeah. Clutch Code. I'm headed to KC with my mama to see our family there. Good. Clutch Code. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself when you get out there, man. Lenny the Cool Dawson. What's going on, my guy? I'm going to act like I've seen this before. Yeah. Well, you got the cool in your name, so kind of like Cool Hand Luke. I get it. Sit back like, hey, man, this is what we expected. So I might be somewhere like on the same lines with you, Lenny. But I know, man, I'm gonna enjoy it. We're gonna have a good time over here. We usually have about 60 people over here at the house for the party. So I'm looking forward to it.
Is the news crew going to be at the house with you? Because I remember 2 years ago they were at the house with you. Are they going to do the same thing this year?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet about doing that. I'm just going to go on TV and speak about it. So
Gotcha.
we may talk about it then. But he had a good time. He really didn't want to leave, Marcus. You've been on the beat before. You've seen what it's like. You go to places. Yeah.
If I was at your house, I wouldn't have wanted to leave either. I would have been pissed off that I had to go back to the station. So yeah, I can imagine that he probably wanted to stay with the Dunn household.
Yeah. I told him, I said, look, man, hey, good food. So he had some food. He was able to chill out for a little bit. He said, man, I got to go ahead and get this thing back to get the story together and get it out there on the news. I said, man, hey, I get you. You go ahead and have some nice bourbon. I got a nice little collection of some good bourbons and stuff here. Incredible food. Like I told you, my family, they're cooks. I got some people that are chefs bringing food over. Family, friends, everybody, man. We want everybody to celebrate. So it ain't just about the Chiefs. These are football fans. And so they may not necessarily be Chiefs fans. They're going to be football fans, but they will be here to see something that's never been done in history. Never been done in history. So that's what we're looking for. Kevin Morris, appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate the $10, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
See a question here, 13 seconds. What's y'all's thoughts or report talking about the refs to Kelsey and Pat? So sometimes I don't know how these guys get credentialed, but sometimes people go there and they're not reporters. They're like parody types of people that go there and just ask dumb questions as jokes and whatnot, just so it can be played up on the internet. So those guys are not reporters. Those guys who are asking those questions were just guys who just make content for jokes and whatnot. So that
like trolls, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Trolls getting in, and trolls can get credentials somehow and get in and ask silly questions, right? Yeah. Sometimes I always think about the meme with, Russell Westbrook. What? Like, really? With that look. So, those guys, man, they're cordial. They treat guys with respect, but, hey, you don't entertain no silliness like that.
Yeah, I don't know how some of these people get credentialed, but it's they're just trying to cram as many people in there as possible. The more people who are in there talk about the Super Bowl, get more engagement and impressions online. The NFL will grant anybody credentials to get in there.
Oh, yeah. So, according to Mad Dog Russo, the three-peat is overrated because the Packers did it back in the 60s.
Yep. I saw him say it on First Take. Yeah, he's going by pre-merger, which if you look at everyone, when people talk about the statistic, they always say first three-peat in the NFL since the merger. Because before the merger, there wasn't. It wasn't. That we don't count the pre-merger stuff when it comes to these kind of accolades.
You don't think it would be special, Russo? Hello, buddy. Like, you got 32 teams now. The merger before then, you had guys that was working on the cars before they got to the game and they real jobs. And so this is different, Russo. It is different. See things like that, Marcus, right? Things like that. Like, Russo, you cannot acknowledge that this is something now since the merger that's been great, that the NFL comprised of the NFL and AFL have gotten together, and this is the result of it. This is the result of it.
Yeah.
So
he's found a niche because a couple of weeks ago he was pissed off about the Bills penalties, and so he found a niche where he was getting his name out there. And I think sometimes these people who are in ESPN and Fox Sports, they see things like, oh, that was good. The way you went at the Chiefs fan base, that was good. You got it in all over Twitter. Everyone was saying your name and engagement. Keep doing it. So you bounce back off that. You're dogging the referees to dogging the Chiefs, saying it's not that impressive three-peating because the Packers did it in 1961. So yeah, these guys find a niche and they see they can play contrarian or be a devil's advocate and to poke at a fan base who's going to go nuts about stuff like that. They'll do it. especially when it's pretty much everybody gets Kansas City. So when everyone has a take that's against Kansas City in some way, form, that's going to be propped up on any social media site.
He sounds to me like he's one of those like W.C. Fields. Yeah, see, the Chiefs, yeah. He's that type of guy, right? He's like, hey, just shut up, okay? All right, you sit back there, in the little kiddie table, all right? Adults is up here talking. So, yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's a weird flip too, because I remember last year in the playoffs, I think he picked the Ravens over us in the AFC Championship game, but he did say that he thinks Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback of all time. He was a big fan of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs last year. Now this year he's flipped, and now it's refs are helping them out. It's like, whoa, that's a big change for you, because last year you were all about the Chiefs when you thought the Chiefs weren't going to back to back. Now you're against them. I don't get it. It's classic. They see numbers and they see engagement and impressions. Go for it. Keep riding that one, Mad Dog. There you go.
See, yeah. But, hey, man, I guess everybody has their own little space they need to play in, right? That's all it is, man. All that loose talk. Loose talk. Okay? Nobody worried about none of that.
No.
Klabatai said it would be happy to see Nico take the return to the house. No question about it. He's another guy, man, and I'm glad he's getting a chance and opportunity, to showcase what he can do. And so that would be great. Wouldn't it? That Nico just takes to the house the very first time. And guess what? He's learned, look, don't worry about anything. Travis, man, this is what greatness is. And I think he's understanding that now, oh, I get it. Don't do more than what you need to do, okay? You see something, you hit it. You got a space, you find it, right? And then you just get up through. But, hey, about greatness, don't be nervous. Hey, play ball. We got to act like you've been there before, okay? You've been doing this all your life, playing football, returning ball, all those different things. You'll be fine. So I'm cheering for him too. Nico, there's a number of guys on the team, man. I'm just excited to see play. He's one of them for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of different guys that you can point to, to have big moments in this game. You can we talked about the Hopkins aspect, the Kareem Hunt element of it, how those guys, they haven't, gone to Super Bowl yet. They can make big impacts in this game, but then you talk about the undrafted guy like Nico, who gets pulled up mid-season. Training camp sweetheart for the last 2 years. A lot of people really wanted him to get playing time. Got hurt last year. We didn't get to see him. And this year he finally gets a shot, and he flourished as the punt returner, and probably going to be more of an expanded role next year, probably. But yeah, that's a great story, a Nico story in itself. So yeah, if he does make a splash play, that'd be fantastic.
Man, I watch more of the Chiefs and those type of stories, and I see so much of it like D-Hop and like Kareem, like you were talking about, and what it means to them. Because I was explaining to some of my family, my daughter actually, about D-Hop's mom, being blind and what happened to her. I said, man, it's just, you shoot, just to see something like that, what he goes through, and him, how much it touches him. He was talking about his dad. When he died, left him a couple of items that he loves and he cherishes. And one of them is, I think he said, a mink coat. And he didn't know if he's going to wear it to his wedding first or the Super Bowl. He said, well, since I'm not married, I'll be wearing a mink coat here. So it's a lot of significance, man, in this game. I think I hope they don't miss that. There's a lot of things, like I said, there's a lot of elements to what's going on that people need to embrace. There's a lot of good feel-good stories with this, man. It really is.
I hope Hopkins. I know Hunt's going to get his touches, but I hope Hopkins. We expected him to go nuts in the playoffs, and so far, really, outside of one catch or one catch last in the championship game, I don't think he's really touched the ball much. So I hope he gets his playing time. I hope he gets his touches because obviously he just wants to win at the end of the day. But being able to have him have a Super Bowl moment for a guy who's had such a Hall of Fame career already. To have that Super Bowl moment and then get the ring, that'd be really special and really cool. Really, really cinematic. Very movie-like. So that'd be cool to see him get a moment.
We need for him. This is the game he was waiting on. Okay, this one right here. He let everybody else do the little work before the end and stuff, but this is where his time to shine. And I hope he gets everything that he wants.
Yeah.
Hazy's in here said, "Would love to see the Chiefs D-line wreak havoc on the Eagles O-line and make it tough on Hurts." I think it's going to be, the game plan. Because I've seen where Hurts is really not good against pressure. He's just not. And he's being hampered by this knee injury. I don't think people are talking enough about that. I got to go on my brother's show tomorrow, man, Pro Fan Talk, and talk to my Eagles side. And this is one of those things we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss those things.
Yep, that's Hazy. Perfect question for tonight's episode. We're going to get into all that tonight. So if you want a D-line game, you want to see how the defense is going to dominate, this is a perfect episode for you. So you're going to enjoy what we have in store for you guys tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you ready for a kill with topic 1, JD?
Let's go. Let's roll it.
Just breaking it down, baby.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
All right. So obviously, Super Bowl is Sunday, and the big thing is Saquon Barkley. Another thing too, we'll get into it a little bit more, but like last year, it was, how could the Chiefs stop CMC? This is a running back that no one's ever seen before. It's unprecedented what he's doing. And then this year, it's like literally take out CMC's name, put Saquon Barkley's name there. It's the same exact stuff we heard going into the last year's game. Yes, I know they're two entirely different running backs, but like the fact that a lot of the stuff we heard about CMC last year is what we're hearing about Saquon this year. It's just like, okay, yeah, we slayed that dragon last year, and then this year we're taking on a different guy, but you guys are saying the exact same things you said about CMC, but we'll get into that after this. But so biggest matchup of the game is obviously in the trenches, as you said last week, and according to Chris Jones, it'll be about stopping Saquon Barkley. Look at the numbers. Chiefs have not allowed 100 yards to a running back all year. And Spags, since he's been the defensive coordinator in Kansas City, has never allowed 100 yards to a running back in the playoffs. So Spags, over the years, we've had some mediocre run defenses, but Spags is somehow locked in and honed in the playoffs, and running backs have not gotten 100 yards against us in the Spags era. With all that being said, Chris Jones and Nick Bolton talk about the importance of stopping Saquon this week. So here's Chris Jones and Nick Bolton.
In order to beat this team, we probably got to stop Saquon first. They're having a heck of a year, and they've been relying heavy on running the ball. He can outrun you. He can run you over. He got so many schematics to his game. It's just not no one thing he does. He's so athletic, can jump over you. He can outrun your fastest safety. So there's so many challenges Saquon offer for that offense also. But then again, you got Jalen Hurts who can run the ball and also a heck of a passer. So very challenging for us on stopping the run and slowing them down.
In terms of just when Saquon Barkley gets out the pocket, man, gets the ball out in space, it's going to take a lot of guys tackling out in space, get him down. He's a special player. He's been doing this all year, and he's the best back in this league for a reason.
JD, obviously, big praise for Saquon Barkley from Chris Jones and Nick Bolton. Obviously, Chris Jones says you stop Saquon Barkley, that'll probably get us the win there, right? In order to beat this team, you got to stop Saquon Barkley. Do you agree with that? Do you think this is kind of the key to winning this game is to stop Saquon and then make Jalen Hurts beat us? Is that do you think that's kind of the game plan for the defense?
Well, I think they have a lot of respect for Saquon, determinedly so, and they are correct. Nick Bolton said it correctly, is Saquon Barkley is the best back in the league. Him and Derrick Henry, they're like that, 1 and 2. Is this what's going to be the game plan? Absolutely, 100%. Make no mistake about it. The reason the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, okay, and they're contenders this year, is because of Saquon Barkley. Period. Point blank. And without Saquon Barkley, I don't think they make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be where they are. Let's just be honest here, right? The things we've been able to see Saquon Barkley do this year to teams. We watched this man turn backwards and jump over a guy, okay? We watched him take one to the house against the Commanders when his first touch. He has one of those rare abilities to go hit his head on the goalpost anytime he touches the football. That's a fact. That's a fact. So we understand, and when I say we, I'm talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, Spags, CJ, Bolton, and everybody on defense understands the offense runs straight through Saquon Barkley. He's got to get his touches. And if you don't have a running back of that type of caliber, then the Eagles are, I ain't going to say they're toothless, but they're not as scary of an offense as anybody else that we played in the league. So to be honest with you, this is the game plan. This is what we have to do. Saquon Barkley is an absolute monster back there. He cannot get going. He cannot get going. And what you have to do at that front, okay, the line of scrimmage has to be controlled by a defensive line. Has to be. We can't be playing in the back in Bolton, Tranquil, and Chanel. We can't be in their laps. If we allow the offensive line get to the second level to Bolton, those guys, it's going to be a long game. It is absolutely going to be a long game for us. And we don't want to do that. All right. Saquon Barkley with them big old ham hock of thighs and, you know what I mean? And, you know, his athletic ability to just make guys miss in space. Whoo, that's hard to contend with. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, but it's been hard for other defenses to do this past year. Well, guess what? Like you said before, we got one of the top run defenses. We stopped guys from getting a lot of yards this past year, okay? And we want to put Saquon Barkley right in that same category. We want to prevent running backs from having a great game against us. We do. When we go in the game knowing that this is the guy that you have to stop, hey, let everybody else around you beat you. Hey, got it? Catch your 5 or 6 balls for 60 yards. Do all you need to do. Hey, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, catch your 2 or 3, balls a game. Get your inner piece. As long as we don't let you beat us deep and stuff, have at it. But the one guy that can't beat us, that we can't let get going, is Saquon Barkley. So they are absolutely right. It is being emphasized and reiterated by Spags and everybody else around there. We got to stop Saquon, okay? So they told you what the game plan is. That's it. Jalen Hurts doesn't have his legs. If Jalen Hurts was as 100% with his legs, given a different element to run the football, makes it even more difficult, right? Because now you have 2 runners in the backfield, pretty much. That's how it boils down. And a running quarterback is always dangerous. So, I agree with them 1,000%. 1,000%.
One of the aspects that's not being talked about enough, which is kudos to Saquon Barkley. And this is also kind of something that's kind of hindered us a little bit this year, where we've had trouble with tight ends and backs out of the backfield as far as receiving the ball. And that could be we've discussed all the reasons why that's been an Achilles heel for us. But his being able to catch the ball out of the backfield is one of his strengths that not being talked about enough. Everyone's talking about his ability to run the ball, going 88 out the gate. He could do all that. But he's also one hell of a specimen out of the backfield being a receiver. I mean, we've seen a couple games this year. The Jacksonville game comes to mind where they kind of stifled the run game, but then he made amazing catch. He had one really badass catch in the back of the end zone against Jacksonville. So like, what do you think we have to do as far as being able to, I guess, how is you game plan being able to stop him as a pass catcher in this game? Because I think that's an underrated spot, especially if Hurts is hurt. What do you do if you're not running the ball as a quarterback? You're getting that ball quick, little screen passes to Saquon, little swing passes to Saquon. We might see a lot of that this game. How do you think Spags is going to try to kind of whip something up to try to stop that aspect, that element of Saquon's game?
One, you had to eliminate having somebody, catching the ball over the backfield or going to the flat. So you have somebody in those areas, right, that you have to contend with. So even if you have like a cover 2 corner, okay, you're playing cloud, that way you can kind of sit on that in the flat area, or have a linebacker maybe cover 3, cover that too. So it's got to be somebody fast enough that's going to be able to get to him right now. You got to be able to recognize exactly what they're trying to do against you defensively. When Frank was on here on Monday, he was sitting there talking about when you take away something on defense, you got to give something up, right? So what do we want to give up defensively? And what you had to think about, well, look, do we want to maybe run cover 2 and have the safety be over top, play over top on like A.J. Brown, right? Do you want to have that happen? Do you give up maybe cover 2 where you have Bolton run down the middle with Goddard, which I don't really see them running too much of that down the field, and let him play there? So there's a few things that you can definitely do to contend with Barkley coming out of the backfield. So the same thing, if you run cover 1, we know Bolton, those guys are going to be on Barkley. And also, too, it's got to be conversation about switching guys up. Like I always tell you before, one of those things that we used to call where you would switch up man would be banjo, right? So communication has to be clear, not just saying the word banjo, banjo. But no, you got Barkley. You got Barkley. 26 come out, you have him. And so what I love about this, the 2 week to get prepared, is you'll see everything that you need to see. All right. I don't see anything extensively that the Eagles do that is really complex. They don't really have a complex offense. They do a lot of RPOs. And for them guys, hey, hand the ball off to Barkley, right? When all else fails, Marcus, all else fails, hand the ball to that guy, right? And let him go try to hit the head on the goalpost. And hopefully he'll do something spectacular. That's what they're hoping for. So if they feel like they get the ball to him and get the ball in his hands enough, he's going to break one. Only thing we try to do is break his back, okay? Legally, we don't want to hurt him. But, Saquon going to get hit. I'm sorry. Saquon going to get hit a lot this game. And so maybe we start hitting him enough, he might start thinking about he might need to go back up here in New York. He might have to go see the Giants again. Man, I know I'm going to get hit like that. Be funny, but that's for real. We just got to put a hat on him. Once you put a hat on him, we do a great job of rallying to the ball. That's another thing we have to do. So it can't just be one guy tackling him, okay? As soon as you see him get the ball, we got to go and we got to sprint. Kenny Fishback, wrap up is going to be the key. Absolutely. Right there. It's coming from my boy right there, Kendrick Fishback. What up, Kenny? What up, Fish? Good to see you. Another running back, okay? Fish knows. So if you don't get no wrap up on them big legs, because it ain't going to just take one, man. It's going to take about 3 or 4 or 5. And keep hitting him, hold him up. Let me get a little bit of that too. Wop, 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 wop. Okay? So after a while, I want to see him in the blue tent. Legally, right? I won't really hurt him. But maybe he goes over visit the blue tent for a little bit. Okay? That's how I look at it. That's what you got to do, man. That's how you got to contend it with a lot of different ways. So I know I'm throwing a little football jargon around, but that's kind of what it is.
Well, and I was thinking, because I heard a lot of these pundits, and like you said, I had to catch myself multiple times watching NFL Network, ESPN, which is crazy because these guys get paid to watch, especially a team that's on national television every week. But hearing them talk about the Chiefs' defensive line, it's really only Chris Jones in there, so Saquon can get going in this game. And we've seen this year, we've seen Pinnell have a game where games where he stepped up. We've seen Tershawn Wharton have games where he stepped up. We've seen Dana step up either on the outside or on the inside. All of our defensive linemen, they've had contributions this year. Unlike last year where we were kind of waiting for another person to step up besides Chris Jones, and it was still the Super Bowl, we actually saw Mike Pinnell come to life against San Francisco. I mean, he looked fantastic in that game. But just looking at that game, let's look at that game. CMC went 22 for 80 on the ground that game. They tried to force the issue because everyone said he run the ball against Kansas City's defensive line. 22 for 80. And then in the passing game, though, he had 8 for 80 and a touchdown. 8 for 88, I believe. So they got him the ball. They got him his touches.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough because we had guys like Pinnell, like Noddy step up. Like the contributions from the other guys, it's been there all year. That's why, yes, I know in the playoffs, Cook and Mixon had their way with us. They didn't get the 100 yards, but playoff, our run defense has looked a little bit more suspect than it did during the regular season. But I think in a game like this, I think the other guys, like they did in the last year's Super Bowl, I think they'll come to life.
Yeah, I do too. And like you said, they was trying to push the issue with CMC, which that's the game plan. CMC is one of those guys, like back then had the ability to hit his head on the goalpost. Could run routes out of backfield with the best of them. And if you get him going, it was going to be kind of the same thing. But we have to see, and I've said this before, like my man was over at Cliff Cole was sitting there saying, we got to control the line of scrimmage. We have to. And a lot of it has to deal with the guys, unsung heroes, and I keep talking about them, that need to step up. Mike Dana does a great job, okay? He's got to be disruptive. Turk got to be disruptive, all right? We got to see Mike Pinnell. He's got to be disruptive. So it can't just be Chris Jones. Chris Jones got to, I'm talking about throw guys left to right. And this is a good offensive line. They are. We talked about the 2 centers being hurt. Okay. They're probably going to, I don't know who they're going to start, who's going to play, but that's going to be somewhat of some, wounded duck coming in there. So we got to take advantage of that. We got to do some stunts. We got to do a couple of twists. And we got to blitz. Bring pressure. That's another thing. Bring pressure. Not only does it stop the run, but it also stops the pass. And so when you're sitting over there, maybe in the RPO and whatnot, guys are going to have to play that tight. They're going to have to. I expect when I think about pressure, I'm talking about not only for our guys coming from depth, coming up and trying to hit the gap, but also too has to be like from our guys that's in pass defense, that they got to be right there in the wide receiver's chest. Okay, Devontae Smith, put your hands on him. AJ Brown, put your hands on him. Goddard, put your hands on him. That's what you do. We got to have a physical game this week. As physical we could possibly be, we got to win that battle. We have to win that battle on offense and defense. But our defense has got to play out of their mind. I mean, just come out of their cleats. I want to see Chris Jones over there crying. I want to see him crying the entire game. I just want him balled up in that emotion, okay? Balled up in emotion the entire game, all right? Chris is just over there, man, unconsolable. Like, man, leave him alone, okay? You don't want what he's about to give you, okay? Let him give all of that he has. Let him give that to the Eagles. Let him give it all to the Eagles. So that's the way I look at it.
Talk about the element of the pressure, because I think when people think of pressure, JD, and blitzing, they think about, because we're going to get to the pressure, how that impacts the passing game. But I think people only think about pressure and blitzing as far as how that impacts the passing game. Yeah. Can you, for maybe some of the beginners when it comes to football knowledge and football IQ, how does the pressure impact the run game of things, especially with a team that relies so heavily on the run? Because, I mean, if you look at, we'll get to when we talk about the passing things and pressure on the Jalen Hurts, but they're a team that likes to go for it on fourth down. There's 3 teams in the league that like to go for it on fourth down. That's Detroit, Philadelphia, and Washington, and all 3 of those teams made it far. But the third and medium is just another down for them. They can run the ball where most teams have to go into pass mode. The whole playbook's open for them because 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, they can run the ball, get those 3 or 4 yards, and then they can, go to fourth down. They'll go for it potentially. But how does the Spags kind of the nuance of the Spags kind of brings as far as his blitzes and pressure, how that affects the run aspect?
So one of the things that pressure brings, okay, or the problems that it provides is you hit gaps faster, quicker. You have guys, Spags does a lot of this of bringing guys off the edge where you can't get out leveraged. So even if you have like a pulling guard or a tackle or somebody trying to get outside, or maybe you're trying to get a pitch to Saquon Barkley, you got a guy right there in his face right now. And so that transition from catching the football, handing the ball off, blitz provides you with somebody in that timing. It can disrupt it. That's what it does. It disrupts the entire scheme, the timing, and everything that you do offensively. It's hard to do. It's hard to contend with. And so if you don't see it, you don't call it out because, we offensively, we have contingency plans. You just know your job's going to be that much harder, especially you got a guy who's coming all the way from up in the stands blitzing on you. You got to catch him, while he's doing it. You got to call it out. Everybody's got to know it. And then you had to have a technique that's going to be able to overcome it. Half the time, you just try to get in the guy's way, man. That's what you try to do. Just get in his way just to stop him. And so that's what happens, man, with blitzes. Blitzes just provide kind of like a jailbreak and things of that nature that quarterbacks and running backs just can't think. It's hard to do because you got a guy in your face right now. We seen that. I kept going back through, and they were talking about the pressure that was coming on Jalen Hurts. And he said it looked like a jailbreak every time. Oh, jailbreak. Yeah. The O-line is looking back because the dude just went by him. And they over saying, oh, Jalen, look out. Look out, Jalen. They calling that from the sideline. So that's Spags in his bag. That's his specialty. So I think once you start disrupting that, it changes their game plan about what you do. Another thing that you can do with that pressure, because it is successful, if it gets successful early, you can bluff. There's a lot of bluffing in there too. Look, man, this is chess now, okay? This is high-level stuff. And so when we're sitting over saying, what do we, how do we take somebody's heart? Well, you do it early. You do it early. And hopefully we'll blitz early and often, and then you kind of back off. That way they're thinking, oh, blitz, blitz, blitz. You call it, then you back off into, your particular areas, whatever pass defense it's running. So that's what it is. It's tough, man. Blitzes is always a hard thing to do. So.
And also, just going back to that Super Bowl last year, I mean, we did this with pretty much the same D-line, but we also lost Charles Omenihu the game before the Super Bowl. So Omenihu actually will be in this game now, and that's yet another guy you can add to that rotation on the D-line. And, I mean, and the one thing, we'll talk about the pressure as far as Jalen Hurts, but, like, that Rams game, I know it was a snow game, but first half of that game, that Rams defensive line, a lot of rooks on that defensive line, they were getting back there. Verse had 3 or 4 sacks in that game. And I mean, Verse probably have a really great NFL career, but I mean, he's not where George Karlaftis and Charles Omenihu are as far as from a physical standpoint. So like, I think that a lot of people are talking about the Eagles offensive line, like the Eagles offensive line from like 3 years ago when we played them last time. I think it's taking a step back a little bit. Lane Johnson's a little bit older. You're dealing with a new center, a new left guard spot there. It's not the same offensive line from 2 years ago. And I think people are still talking about it like it is that same offensive line from 2 years ago. And I think that's kind of a misnomer just because Saquon had such a good year this year. So everyone's kind of writing off the changes that they've undergone on the offensive line.
It makes it look like they've done their job all year, right? Everybody patting them on. Hey, good block, good job. And then they look at the film like, oh my goodness. Oh no. Coach might have replaced this guy. Why? Look at him. That's why Saquon had to jump over people in the pile backwards. Sucker right here just ran up and passed the center and the guard. He ain't touched nobody. He ain't pinch him. Pinch somebody. So it's not the same offensive line. But they still good.
Yeah.
Good offensive line.
Yeah.
I don't want to downplay it because I'd be lying. They are a good offensive line. Are they better than the Bills' offensive line? No. I think the Bills' offensive line is a lot better. We've gone against them, and we gave them the blues. Lenny said Josh Allen still don't know what happened on the 4th and 5. Somebody said he's still over in Arrowhead sitting on the bench still trying to figure it out, Lenny. So he didn't even fly back to Buffalo. But no, man, look, it's when you have a clear game plan, okay, about what it is that you want to attack, all right, Saquon Barkley. We also know that Jalen Hurts is hurt, all right? He is hampered, he is hindered by that knee. And so we got to make sure that we provide pressure, okay, and just bring it from all areas. Our secondary, our pass defense, that has to do a tremendous job because they got some good receivers. They got a good tight end. So they ain't chopped liver, okay? A.J. Brown's one of the top receivers. Devontae Smith, one of the top receivers. Dallas Goedert's one of the top tight ends in the league. That's another reality. So you start one element of it, what are you giving up? And so we know those guys on the back end to play tough, okay? They got to do their job. We got to contend every single pass that comes in, contend every single one. So once we do that, Marcus, once we get that game plan down to understand where it is we're supposed to be at, how we're supposed to play them, we're going to be fine, okay? And it doesn't matter. Spags like, hey, listen, just, trust everything, trust the process, everything's going to work. That's it. That's what we got to do. In Spags, we trust. Wearing them shirts and jerseys, in Spags, we trust.
And that brings us to our next topic here, JD. Just talking about Spags, the Spags versus Hurts. Kind of, yep. The other, you got the main, the Chiefs, Eagles, but then you got Spags versus Hurts or Spags versus Kellen Moore, the soon-to-be Saints head coach. But so on top of stopping Saquon, another big point in this game is stopping the Eagles on third and short or 4th and short. The tush push, where everyone's talking about that. And while many think, because the Chiefs did such a great job stopping Josh Allen's version of the tush push, this should be a piece of cake. But Steve Spagnuolo says it's not.
No.
So here is Spags on Jalen. So we're going to get into 2 components. We're going to talk about the tush push and why it's different from the Josh Allen tush push, and also just the overall pressure on Jalen Hurts within this topic here. But we're going to begin with the tush push. But here's Spags and Jalen Hurts.
No secrets. Everybody's asking. No secret. I mean, try not to get him in those situations, right? That's the best chance you have. It's really, I mean, we'll try to find a way to get as much big muscle in there we can and knock it back the other way, but they're pretty good at it.
Spags has always done a great job. I got a ton of respect for him. They got great players, great front seven, great defensive back, a very defensive back group, very disruptive group, and so it'll be a great challenge for us.
Last time we played him in this big game, 2 years ago, 2 Super Bowls ago, I thought he was dynamic as a thrower. As talented he is as running football, which you have to be concerned about. I just remember all those perfect passes he made to the tight end and some other people. So I look at this quarterback as two-dimensional. He can do both. He can run and throw, and that guy's got to be on point to try to defend.
So, JD, talk about the tush push. We'll start with that, and we'll get into the pressure side of things. But why? Because I've seen a lot of Chief fans, they're saying it's going to be a piece of cake. The tush push, no biggie. We dealt with Josh Allen, who's 6'5", and, who was dominating a lot of teams in the tush push this year. Talk to us, because they're very different, and you can tell us, because even you're obviously the professor, we call you. Talk to us about how it's just totally different types of tush pushes, whether the schemes from the Bills and Philadelphia. Why is it so different?
I mean, for me, when I look at them, obviously Philadelphia is known for this whole tush push. It looks a lot like the rugby scrum and whatnot, kind of getting down there and pushing guys forward. They do a great job of just getting low and just driving forward. And all they're trying to do is just get yardage. Jalen Hurts, because of his ability, his strength of his legs. See, here we go. Jalen's leg strength. Thanks, Witchy. Was another factor. But with him being hurt, does that change things? I don't know, somewhat, but he's still strong. He's still a strong guy. And also, too, what we've seen tendency-wise is that against Buffalo, the things they were doing, Josh Allen would prefer one side over another because of their ability on the left side to block. And so maybe that was just his thing. Well, we've seen that. We picked that part out. And so when you see teams kind of trying to adopt this whole like tush push thing, they don't quite get it right like the original. That's why they've been so successful. But like Spags said, try not to get them in that position, in that situation where there is 4th and 1, the 3rd and 1, where you don't have to do that. That's probably the main thing, really. Just try to eliminate as many of those as possible. The thing is, all it does is create a first down. Now, okay, let's play defense, especially where it's going to be probably the most imperative to stop them is down there like on the goal line if they get down the goal line or close to it, right? Because all it does is it just continues a drive going. So I think that's probably what it is. So we'll do there first. So the other part was you were saying with that.
Yeah. So the other side of things was the pressure on Jalen Hurts and how he's probably not one of the best quarterbacks out of this year. And Warren Sharp of Sharp Analytics had a whole thing about that, and I'll put it here for everyone to see. Mm-hmm. So Sharp Analytics, one of the worst. Jalen Hurts, one of the worst quarterbacks when it comes to when he's pressured. Number 37 of 37 quarterbacks in success rate when pressured. 37 of 37 in quarterbacks in EPA per attempt. Number 33 of 37 in quarterbacks in sack rate when pressured. I mean, when we talk about the offensive line, right? We talk about how it's not the same as it was a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago, Jalen Hurts wasn't getting touched. This year, when teams are bringing the pressure, it's just. I mean, look, the numbers will tell you. The numbers don't lie. You can look at his stats this year; they're not what they were 2 years ago. And yes, the run game's great. Saquon's taken a lot of, he hasn't had to throw as much because Saquon's kind of taken a lot of burden off of him. But these numbers are indicative that if you do get the pressure to his face, you can make things happen. And that's what I think we saw in that Rams game. The Rams could block Jalen Carter for a split more second. Tyler Higbee's in the end zone. We could be facing either Washington or the Rams today or on Sunday. But JD, when you look at these numbers here, What does this tell you about what you want to see, what you think you're going to see from our guy, Steve Spagnuolo?
I mean, it just makes sense to pressure Jalen Hurts. And a lot of it is kind of like some of the route combinations that they run. And if you really don't have a game plan as far as like, okay, do we have any type of short game that we throw the ball to? Is our routes a lot deeper? Or are we running more slants? What are we doing? And so when you bring pressure, we know once we run man, we got to be head-to-head, hands-on a guy. So really the only thing that you can do is maybe throw a ball up. You ain't got enough time to think, especially at deeper routes. Same thing, you got to be on the tight end and make sure he's not getting open. But that's the problem. The problem is you don't really have time to think and time to adjust. And like I said, if you don't have a receiver or somebody you can just throw the ball up to, which they do, but some of the routes that they run as far as combination-wise, at A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and even Goddard, maybe not be conducive to what they do against pressure, right? So now it just makes sense. I think for Spags, it's got to be pick and choose when he does it, right? Don't become predictable when you're pressuring. Okay, he does a good job of disguising who's coming, and I think that for us, it bodes well for us. Really, you could take over a game because what does that do? That makes him throw an inerrant pass. Hopefully, I seen somebody say it earlier that hopefully McDuffie gets one. Yeah, McDuffie, Connor, Watson, Williams, Johnson, Reed. I want everybody to get one. I want everybody to have a chance. Because once you throw that ball up, that's it. One thing Jalen Hurts has also done this year is he hasn't really taken any of the chances to make an inerrant throw, which he's protected football. And I think he believes, and I'm sure the coaches probably told him, like, listen, look, don't get in a situation where we just give the ball up. If we need to, our defense is so good, we'll just play defense. We'll hold the ball, punt it, okay, and we'll live to fight another day. But that is the mentality, right? Don't put yourself in a situation, but then all of a sudden you turning the ball over to the offense, and give them field position. So that's just kind of smart football. It's kind of smart football. If you don't have it, hey, don't force anything. So
where's the I mean, you've been watching. We've been watching a lot of film last week, and I know you've been watching a lot of film. But where is the weakest link on the Eagles' offensive line? Obviously, the left guard and center, those Jurgens and Dickerson are both hurt right now, but they're going to play and practicing in full. But where is the weakest link on that squad right now?
I think it is going to be probably A and B gap, and obviously the D on the outside too. It's hard to contend for that. The thing is, even with these tackles, if you got somebody that's facing and somebody coming off the side of it, that's going to be hard. And what ends up happening too is that the running back's going to have to come up and pick up one of those guys. So it takes Saquon Barkley, it takes him out of the equation. So that's it. Good thing about blitzes is everything's exposed. So you can either try to use turn protection, meaning everybody going one way, sliding one way, okay, and somebody going on the backside. You try to control it, like more gap protection, if you will. Make sure guys don't necessarily hit gaps. Holding guys off with two is another thing offensive line can do. Take two. Try to take the hit off the quarterback. Give him time. If you got to throw a leg out there or an arm or something, hey, fine. Guess what? If you need to hold. All right? That kind of sounds antithetical to what you have to do. But, hey, man, if you try to save your quarterback or your running back, do so, right? Don't let nobody have a free hit on your quarterback. So that's on either side.
In that Rams game, obviously, Verse was coming from he was playing the left end, so he was coming against Lane Johnson, and he kind of abused Lane Johnson in that game. The last week against the Commanders, they don't really have much of a pass rush. They were blitzing Luvu a lot. I think he's really good. I think Luvu's really, really good. He's awesome.
Yeah.
But they don't really have much of a defensive front as far as the pass rush there. The Deron Payne didn't play that game. Yeah. I don't even think Jonathan Allen played. And that's the reason why they're going. The Commanders are one of the top teams to probably get Myles Garrett this offseason. But just taking that game aside, but just looking at what the Rams did, Jared Verse, We've seen this year they put Jones on the outside sometimes. Obviously, they move him around all over the place. But I could see them really going for that. Jordan Mailata is a badass on the left side. I could really see him going at Lane Johnson because, again, this isn't 2 years ago Lane Johnson. This is a 2 years older Lane Johnson. He's kind of shown it this year throughout the season in spurts. But that Jared Verse game was very eye-opening in many ways to have a rookie come in there and kind of dominate him.
Yeah. I think, you have to do that. I think you have to move Chris Jones around. That is absolutely a problem with teams. You know why? Because that guarantees almost being singled up on the outside against somebody. Lane and Mailata are two good tackles, but they're not Superman. I've seen them both get beat. One thing I would do, I whisper to the referees. They talk about referees on our side. Psst, watch Lane Johnson jumping. Watch him false start. Okay, that's going to be the first thing I do. If I'm one of the coaches, I would tell that referee every time he comes up, watch Lane. He's jumping off sides. He's going too early. Maybe get that on your side, right? So
that's another. I didn't even think about that component of it.
Yeah, man.
We're thinking about this. 2 years ago, we didn't have Jawaan Taylor in the Super Bowl. Now, for the whole world to see, we're going to see Jawaan Taylor on one side, and we're going to see Lane Johnson on the other side. Two guys who go pretty early, I would say, or sometimes right on the snap of the ball. I know with Lane Johnson, they try to say, oh, man, his guy impeccable timing because he jumps right away. Where it's like Jawaan Taylor, he goes early. So there you go. The two biases in one game will be to see in this game because they're calling it on one side and not the other. We're going to see right away how this game's going to go.
That's right. Call it fair, call it consistent. I'm telling you, I would be that coach. Watch Lane Johnson. Even if he's not offside, watch him. He's offside. Look at him, ref. Every chance, man. I'm telling you, every chance I get, I would tell him, whisper to him, Lane Johnson. Just walk by him. He comes down. Lane Johnson jumping offside. Just let him know, man. Just let him know. But I think that's what you have to do. Attack. So even if let's just say they decide to fan out to try to get somebody, we got to make sure, get to the outside and somebody right there in that B gap, okay, between the guard and the tackle as well. Got to hit. So that's what's got to happen, brother.
Do you think there's a world where we see on Sunday where they are calling the offsides and the early starts on Jawaan and they're not calling it the other way? Because I could definitely see that because for some reason Lane Johnson never gets called with it, but Jawaan Taylor, he's been better about it this year. But we see him get called for every so often. And still fans complain about it online too.
Boy, they do that, man. I can see Jawaan Taylor on the other side tearing up. Like, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not the only one. Thank you. So
they're probably gonna talk before the game. Hey, look, guys, we're gonna call it on both of you guys. If you do, we're gonna call it on both of you.
Mm-hmm. It might be Jawaan Taylor getting up here and telling, watch him. Look at Lane Johnson jumping off sides.
Yeah, the first time. Actually. Gosh, we played them that Monday night game. I don't remember it being called that much in that game. I think they let it go when we played them that Monday night game last year. So, but this is a Super Bowl, so we'll see. I know they love calling that stuff out in the nationally televised game. So we'll see how they go with that. But they really shouldn't be calling it one way and not the other. Don't call it at all, or call it on both sides.
No, they should. I like what Chiefs fan of Dallas says. George said, with two teams this good. But two teams this good, the one who makes the big mistakes loses. I agree with you. I think that's going to be a huge factor in this game. It's protecting the football. We talked about teams that's probably better than the Eagles. I would say the Ravens are better than the Eagles, okay, overall team-wise. The Ravens couldn't get past their mistakes. That's why they're losing. That's why they're sitting at home. That's exactly why. I had a little bit more reticence maybe against the Ravens than I do like the Eagles. Okay. I knew the problems the Ravens was going to present to us. All right. And so they just shot themselves in the foot. That's what they did. So if I could compare a team, I would say probably the Ravens are closer compared to the Eagles than anybody else. But I thought we was going to be able to handle them too. No doubt about it. So it's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be a good game.
Do you think so? Lamar, to me, Lamar is that much better than Jalen Hurts. Do you think is the gap between Saquon and Henry smaller than the gap between Lamar and Jalen Hurts?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Look, Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I love Jalen Hurts. I'm a Jalen Hurts fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Jalen Hurts fan. All right. And Jalen Hurts can throw the football. He can run the football, but he's hurt. He's hurt, man. He's not 100%. Lamar with his legs, man, we know how dangerous he is. We know that. So I'm not going to sit here and act like Jalen Hurts is a slouch. Jalen Hurts is one of the top quarterbacks in the league, okay? Make no mistake about it. Everybody want to talk about this. Look, let's just be honest here. We can be honest. It's going to be a tough game. It is. So Jalen Hurts is a very capable quarterback. The thing is, if he's hampered by that knee, that changes things significantly for me. I know that. I think Spags understands that too. That's why the game plan is stop Barkley. Why? Because he's going to be handing off more than anything else to this guy. It makes sense. Why would I keep dropping back, put Jalen Hurts in harm's way to get hurt even more? That joker come up limping. You're like, uh-oh. You're going to see the back. Only who's their backup quarterback?
Kenny Pickett.
Oh, shoot. Kenny Pickett? Oh, man.
We'll let Carson Wentz go to the other side of that, put on an Eagles jersey to make the game fair.
Kenny Pickett will be running around trying to get his helmet and put it on backwards. That's what I want to see. Bring old Kenny Pickett. Bring him in the game. Just to pick it for 6. How about that? That's what I want to see. Bring Kenny Pickett. Bring his tail in here.
Mr. Small Hands.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
JD, I know we have game picks, but I know you said you drew up some plays back there. Are those plays that you think we should be running this weekend?
Oh, I just threw a couple things together. Yeah, I mean,
I give you the full screen. I know you drew those up, so I wanted to make sure we get to those.
I kind of drew them up, but some of the concepts that we run. Yeah, you could give me the full screen if you'd like to.
I'm going to give you the full screen, brother.
Got it? Okay. So if we sitting over here looking at this, the first, let me stand up for this thing, huh? I know I was going to do all this, Mark. But I'm coaching. But it's coach, baby. Let's coach a little bit. All right. One of our concepts that do real well is this wide sail. All right. Wide sail means the wide is going to run a sail route. Tight, if you don't know who that is, that's number 87, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is going to be big for us in the game. Okay. We're looking for this whip route right here. Snag is another one, Marcus, as you call it. Okay. And we got the post over here. This is in a bunch set. You can run 3x1 all day. 3 to one side, 1 right here. QB. Say running back. Okay. 10. All right. Or Hunt. Got him going to the flat. So this right here is, you can have the safeties rock and roll. Sometimes they'll look for 2. So this is good against cover 2 and cover 1. I know, just kind of writing this up. Good against cover 3. Man is great. Because, man, you got Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is going to be the first read on this. Second read is this whip route. Third read is this backside basic route, which is about 10 to 12 yards. That's an easy read for Pat. This one that we look over here, this wide drive. Let's go with the wide drive. All right, same thing. 2 high safeties. This is to be cover 2. It could be cover 4. They can even rock and roll. Okay, the combination covers cover 1 or cover 3. Doesn't matter. So we have this wide receiver out here doing a spot route about 6 yards, about 4 yards outside of the tackle. Okay, so what we're looking for. This guy right he's covering his face of his safety to take this over. If the safety drives back, we're looking right here to this drive. Okay, it's a drive route or basic, like the other side over here. So this right here is a bench route. We call it a bench route. It's a 7 route, okay, of a corner. All right. That means he's going to run over, open up, and run toward the bench. That's tough. That's tough to cover. Because what you do is you force the safety either to get him or this corner go ahead and take him. If he does that, this is a viable option, okay? But you're looking for this drive. First one we're looking for right here, number 1, number 2, number 3. This is your home run ball. All right? That right here is kind of your outlet. If you got it, you got it. If not, there's your hot route. Hot right here to the flat. Let me see. This one right here, I drove this up. This is the same thing, kind of your drive concept, but more kind of your shallow cross outside guy at a bunch. Bunch for us this week is going to be great to run. Bunch concept means 3 by 1, okay? Bunch concept. Same thing. Drive route. We do a whole lot of this right here, man, of like influencing the safety because that opens up this drive right here almost one-on-one with this backside safety. Same thing with this drive route, how the linebacker is going to play him. This right here, he has a hole in a window on the opposite end of this tackle is where you want to open this up. This right here, I don't know if y'all remember this, but in the game, Pat threw this ball to Xavier Worthy. It was an easy throw because you'll see it. It depends on if the corner plays up or he's pressed or he bails. We actually tried to make this throw, same thing to D-Hop on the goal line. So it's good in the field or even down the goal line. This is a great play. All right. I just call this shallow drive. How about that? Okay. That's the 2 concepts. This one right here that I'm looking at. I didn't get to call up the defenses yet. Same thing. Bunch look. Another thing, bunch. Bunch concept. What we had to do another thing too offensively was we got to move Travis Kelce around. It helps us out a whole lot. Got to move him around. Same thing. If it's Xavier Worthy, he's one-on-one out here. Okay, he's got an out route, 10 yard, 10 to 12 out. One-on-one. This back could be Kareem Hunt. It could be Pacheco. He's one-on-one with the linebacker. I like that matchup too. 2 matchups I like. Now the bunch concept, same thing over here. Run a spot route. Outside the tackle. This right here filters out. Okay, and this Travis Kelce on the drive. He just lives in this window. What did I say is open? If y'all remember, earlier I said middle open, right? Same thing. What is open over here? Middle. It's open over here. Middle. It's open over here. Middle. All right? So it's a lot of markings. I'm just messing around over here. Writing a few things up. But as far as I see what we can run against their defense, definitely it helps out. The wide drive, the wide sail, shallow drive, and we call this right here, we could call this bunch, bunch out. So, here we go.
That was beautiful. JD, talking about this defense, I know last week we kind of went over what's going to be open for them. We saw the tight end in the middle of the field. Whatever person we're getting in the middle of the field, that's going to be the guy to go with. I mean, there's windows all over the field behind the linebackers.
Yeah.
But looking more than that, like there's just something about the Fangio defense and the Fangio defense within it. Mahomes is. I think I saw a stat. Everyone's saying that Mahomes against Fangio's defense is 8-0, but technically we are actually 9-0. Mahomes is 9-0 against Vic Fangio because a lot of people may forget in the last time he played the Philly in the Super Bowl. They hired Fangio as a consultant. The Eagles hired him as a consultant, and everyone said, Fangio's defense in Miami was crap. Fangio's defense in Denver was crap. But 2 years ago, he was with that great Philadelphia 70-sack pass rush team.
Yeah, he was.
Defense in the league, and he was a consultant in that one. So I pulled just the numbers for this one. So this is a graphic by First Things First. They have it as 8-0, but I corrected it and have 9-0 against Fangio, consultant with Philly 2 years ago. But that's the points per game differential. And then that's the one thing I will say is in the 8-0, I didn't factor in his stats from the Super Bowl 2 years ago, but in the 8 games they have, his touchdown to interception ratio, 11-3 is pretty over 8 games. That's not a lot of scoring there. But, I mean, Fangio runs a lot of cover 4, his defenses. And I know, like,
that's right, Greg.
as far as the zone coverages. If he's going to kind of stick with the zone all game long, I mean, Pat's going to just eat you alive. I mean, what do you always say? Death by 1,000 cuts?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. As far as like Fangio, I think, he's always trying to figure out how you're going to stop Patrick, right? That's one thing you can't factor in is just his ability in itself to find guys open, to make sure he gets the ball in the hands of the playmakers and what he sees. And here's the thing. I'm expecting that they're going to probably drop 7 in coverage, okay, and bring the 4. And hoping the 4 are going to hit home. To me, that will be his game plan, more so against Patrick than anything else. Because then, like, when we start seeing some of these plays up here, like I said, it was going to be open. So they're going to try to make sure they have another guy in those areas that's going to be able to cover that. But I think Fangio also understands if we get the ball out of our hands to the guys, same thing with Pat, late leak, look for a Noah Gray to get off. Look for a Kareem Hunt. Look for Pacheco to beat you. Fangio and those guys are going to be ready for, obviously, Xavier Worthy getting the football. That's what they're looking at. They're going to look for Travis Kelce. Make sure Travis Kelce doesn't beat us. So what do? You flood the zones. Flood the areas. That's how Fangio is going to have to try to work against this. So we know that we have big play capability. What you have to do offensively, okay, against any good defense. I think we do a good job as far as getting the ball out of hand, pressure, and all those different things. If they decide to do it, Pat will eat you alive, okay? That's his superpower, all right? He'll make you pay when he sees a mistake. What slows Pat down is when areas are flooded with defenders and your players because guys got to find lanes to kind of get open. Pat's got to be patient, take the outlet, the little chunk ball, okay? He's got to play a little bit of that. So I think really, man, especially in the passing game, when Pat has a chance to run, I think he will. I think he needs to take off and get down, get yards with his legs. Hey, he's got all season, to get himself right. We understand that, Pat is one of the most underrated quarterbacks running the football. I've said this time and time again. So it ain't always up to just giving the ball out to our running backs. Pat is deadly with his legs. It happened in the last Super Bowl, right? He took off running. He's supposed to be hurt. Well, you seen what he was able to do? If Pat need to get up through, he'll get up through. Pat's going to do everything in his power to win this football game. But he's not going to take chances, unneeded chances. And also, too, I just said this. We need to go up top early. Take a shot. Matter of fact, if you want to start every single, not every single one, but obviously, quite a few of your drives, the deep ball. Give it a shot. Take one. Make Fangio and those guys like, oh, shoot. Whoo. Oh, man, we got to cover him. Man, get them young corners, man. Get them out of their back pedal. Okay? Kenyon Mitchell's he's a solid guy over there. He is. But we're going to try to we're going to go after them safeties. Okay? We're going to go after them safeties. And so we need to do that. We need to test them out. We need to go against those linebackers. We need to test them out. And so for us, it's all about controlling the football, controlling your pace. Run the football. We went up front against this D-line and this front, get into the secondary, run the football, it changes things. Heavy dose of Kareem Hunt. I'm letting y'all know right now. Heavy dose. Kareem Hunt. Get him in the game. Get him involved early. He don't have to start. I don't want Kareem starting. That's me. Let Pacheco do it. And then let Kareem Hunt come in and start eating. Let him clean the plate. You know what I'm saying? Give him the biscuit, clean the plate. Let me finish up. Let me finish this song up. Same thing. Somebody Worthy deep first play. I love it. Hazy. I love it. Hey, him. Hey, and what's name it? And Hollywood? Absolutely. I go all go special immediately. We're going to see what you're going to do. So you either going to give us too high, okay, to give us single coverage. We know how to beat it with either one of those, okay? All go special. That's 4 verticals, okay? 3, especially on one side. Now you can filter somebody out. The back, you can have the backside wide receiver. Let him run that basic across there because then it's wide open. That's how you control the game and the pace of it, right? Is you force them to look at everything and challenge everything here, okay? They're just hoping that they bend and don't break. That's it. So we're gonna put some points up on them jokers. Hey, I like corn dog too, but corn dog just one of those in your what's name, your back pocket. You know another play that's gonna work. We ain't seen in a few weeks. Shovel pass.
That's true. We
ain't seen that.
Yeah.
So
this could be the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I saw you had the plays right up on the board, JD. I'm sorry, it was impromptu, but
no, it's good. It's cool. Look, I ain't got no problem. Hey,
we all love that stuff.
I love board work, man. I can do this all day. We're gonna start writing things up.
All right, so now we're getting to our final topic here, JD. Our final game pick. Kind of sad. Our final game pick of the 2024-2025 season. What a ride it's been, guys. Everybody in the Chief Concerns family. Our last game pick of this season, but we'll get. It's in 7 months. We'll get our week 1 game picks coming here soon. But
hold on. Let me do this. Let me go use the restroom real quick. All right.
Okay.
We'll pause. I'll let you go ahead and talk. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. All right, so Jay's going to go to the restroom real quick before Jay's trying to drag us out a little bit. He wants to keep the last game pick of the season. Again, sentimental. I'm a little sentimental too on this. Our last game picks of the regulars or the 2024-2025 season. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Okay, let's go here for Kevin. This is Fantasy's best defense. I'm surprised he's not blitzing as much as he used to. I mean, I think they're getting pressure without having to blitz, and I think they're being able to drop in coverage. And I know Zach Bonds had a pretty good year, but their linebacking core is not. It's not what it was a couple of years ago with T.J. Edwards, who was a beast. Zach Bonds, a guy, special teams guy who's now is getting the love of the middle linebacker spot, but we've seen his weaknesses. I mean, that middle field has been exposed over the last few weeks. Tight ends are eaten. Zach Ertz looked like prime Zach Ertz from yesteryear. So that was that's something that I think we're going to exploit. But yeah, they can get to the quarterback without having a blitz. I think just being able to have more guys in the secondary. I mean, I think this year we saw more zone cover 2 than we have seen in like many years. That's why the kind of scoring was down all throughout the NFL, and that's why you saw the rise in the running back. So it all kind of makes sense, right, from a league perspective. First you're plugging, second place to D-Hop to ensure he has 1 catch. Maybe we'll see. JD and I were talking about D-Hop getting involved, and hopefully we'll see a little bit more of that. But yeah, no, that's a good point there, Amda. All right, JD is back from the restroom. There he is. I told everybody you were trying to prolong this game, but you're getting a little sentimental. You want to keep us going as long as possible.
All right, yeah.
So our final game pick for the 2024-2025 season, Chiefs will be playing the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday in the Super Bowl. If you've been living under a rock for the last 2 weeks, the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl again. It'll be Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fox. The Chiefs are currently a 1.5-point favorite. I believe the line opened up as a 2.5-point favorite, but we are a 1.5-point favorite. I think I've seen every state besides the state of Kansas is taking the Eagles. So most of the public is on the Eagles. And generally, when most of the public's one side, the other side usually wins. So that bodes well for us against the world. But JD, who do you have in this game, and how do you have this game going?
Okay. You know what? I've written down a couple of numbers, but I do believe this game we do win, and I do believe we win it handily. So actually, my first score was going to be 31-21. Okay, 31-21 Chiefs. But now I'm more so, I'm thinking we're right there at 27-21. Okay. That's what I'm looking at, 27-21. All right.
27-21. Okay, so the over-under, the total points for this game is 48.5. You're right on it, man.
Am I? Wow, okay.
So you're slightly below, you're slightly under.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't see, like, the way they did Commanders, we're not that team. You're not going to put that many points up on us. Like, it's just not happening. And I want everybody to recognize, I want everybody up there to recognize that. Like, some of these people that's been talking, about how great the Eagles offense is, I agree, but they are very, very good. But our defense is exceptional. Okay? Like my man sit there and told me, we built for this. Chiefs are absolutely built for this. And I said that what we have going for us is our guys have been there before. They know what to expect in a game like this. They're not going to panic. They're not going to get down. They're not going to feel dejected if something like that happens. I think these guys are here to go all out. And like I said before, and I keep saying this, it's never about the other team. It's always about us. Okay? We're here chasing history. The Philadelphia Eagles is in the way of the Chiefs' historic run. Something that's never been done before in the NFL. Since the merger, if you want to say that, or Russo, whatever. Okay? But it's never been done. All right? So for us, we got to make sure we keep the main thing. We got to be focused up on the things that we need to do. These guys are ready. They're ready to play. The Eagles are going to be ready. They're going to be ready to play. But because of Andy Reid and Spags and Nagy, Dave, Tobe, and those guys, who we have offensively, and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, whole offensive line, with Xavier Worthy, D-Hop, Hollywood Brown, Juju, with Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. These guys are going to be ready. We talk about defensively. Talking about a man across the board on guys that are just hungry and thirsty. There's one guy that didn't get to play in the Super Bowl last year, and that's Charles Omenihu. He has a whole different motor about what it is he wants to do against this game. Chris Jones is another one. Chris Jones understands this moment. George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, FAU, the guys I've been asking about to show up in this game, Mike Pennell, Turk Warrington. Need to see those guys. Linebackers, Nick Bolton, who's been getting a lot of ridiculous hate for whatever reason, has been nothing but an absolute monster for us all year. He's the leader of our defense. Him and Tranquil and Chanel, they understand the gravity of what they're dealing with right now in the situation. It's secondary, who is young and somewhat fairly new. But they got guys that's been there before. Talking about a guy, Trent McDuffie, who's been to 3 Super Bowls in 3 years. That's incredible. That's incredible. When you talk about a Justin Reed and a Brian Cook and a Hicks who comes in, and the Jamari Commerce who came back, a Jalen Watson who come back off for injury, okay? It's coming out here to come play. Joshua Williams or Najee Johnson, those guys, when he was down, was able to come in and pull themselves up and hold on to it. They understand what this thing is all about. We're talking about a young guy in a Nico Remigio who now has a shot because one of our guys in McCole Hardman is down. Well, he's just picked up where McCole left off. He's been passed the baton to him saying, look, this is your time. Go out there and shine in front of everybody. I think Nico Remigio understands that. We talk about a Harrison Buckner and a Ariza who understand these moments. They've been there before. They know how to capture those moments. And so when we talk about totality of a team, we're talking about a totality of an organization. the best organization in football that was founded by one of the greatest founders. He don't call himself an owner, he called himself a founder, Lamar Hunt. We understand what this thing means. This is part of his legacy. Something that we wish Lamar was able to see. And so, of course, you know, Dan and Clark and all the Hunt family has been able to really enjoy these moments. It's all the hard work of guys that have been putting time in for these guys to be part of this legacy that we're cheering these guys on. All the former players, guys has been sitting over here, bowing their backs up, talking about the Chiefs, right? Patting them on the back, trying to give them at least somewhat of cover, protection from all this craziness that's out here that's going on. The fans about you all that's out here, that's watching me right now on Chiefs Concerns family, who've been putting your time and effort in all year. This is the moment. This is the moment. So make no mistake about it, Marcus. I think everybody's bought in. I think everybody understands what it means to get into the wheelbarrow. This is what this is all about. It's about relationships, it's about family, and it's about legacy. So what we're doing, we're giving and gifting the NFL with some more greatness. So I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm glad to see this. I don't want nobody to miss those moments on all these other conspiracy theories and everything else and all of that and talking about Taylor Swift and stuff like that. To hell with that. Matter of fact, lean in and embrace it all. I heard Travis, why y'all leaning into all these conspiracy? Why y'all doing that? And what I could see, I could hear out of him and listen to is what he's sitting there saying, man, y'all don't understand what's happening? Y'all don't see it? Y'all would rather go and try to gravitate toward all of these silliness, these things that's being said, as opposed to watching what we're doing. He's putting his life on the line for this thing, man. His life on it. So, I don't know, Marcus. I don't know. I just tell you this. When it's all said and done, when we're at the podium and we're holding up the Lombardi, I want everybody to remember what these guys had to go through, what the organization had to go through over all these years to watch these guys be champions again for this historic moment. I want everybody to just get up and just cheer. That's it. You don't have to rub it in anybody's faces, none of those different things. We will be gracious winners because it's the class. That's the expectations. So everybody enjoy it. Everybody enjoy it. Okay? That's all I had to say, man. That's all I had to say in my heart, just to end this whole thing. That's it.
Beautiful, JD.
That's it.
Everyone in the I think you spoke for everybody in the kingdom, honestly, with what you just said. Just all the years and all blood, sweat, and as former players who've been through it, as the fans who have been through some rocky years, just to get to this point where we were happy with one Super Bowl, let alone where we've been to now, where we live in the AFC Championship game and practically live in the Super Bowl now. It's just being able to get a three-peat to do something that's never been done in the NFL before. That just puts us on something kind of like how you said the other day, like the Miami Dolphins will always have the perfect season. They can pop that.
Yeah.
We're always going to have this after Sunday. And it's insane. It's one hell of a run. And I'm really happy to share Chief Concerns with you and everybody in the chat and our entire Chief Concerns family. I mean, it's been an amazing run. I mean, we're all a part of this. You know, it's Chiefs Kingdom is special, and we're all a part of it now.
Absolutely. This is what brings people together. This is what brings people together. And so we should celebrate this. And I keep going back to this. There's so much divisiveness and people out here, man. Why trip on it? We can just absolutely enjoy these times that we have. Okay, cheering for one another. So I know it's going to be some other teams, some people that's going to be mad at it, but they can't deny what the Chiefs have been able to do. They could try. They may attempt. They might try to, dismiss. None of it's going to work. And we could walk proudly like we always do with our Chief hats on and all our paraphernalia and whatnot and have a ball. Have a ball. So enjoy the Super Bowl halftime festivities, all that around it. Enjoy it all. Enjoy it all. But the main thing is still the main thing.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I think everyone just no one's expecting your beautiful monologue there, JD. You're getting everyone pumped up for Keys to Victory on Friday. Don't get it twisted, everybody. That wasn't his Keys to Victory. Keys to Victory is Friday. That was just a little precursor, a little treat, a little preview to what we're going to see on Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What I appreciate even more, Marcus, is the people I see in here in this chat. Okay. Real quick, all right? I ain't gonna bore y'all to death. All right, I'm done talking. I'm a talk. I could talk. But when I see fans who have been here, like Chief 65, and people who's been around here for 30 years watching the Chiefs, 40 maybe, and what they had to go through and seeing it all, I know the feeling. I know what it feels like. I lived it. I played it. For 8 years, I was there in that stadium. For 8 years. I know how tough it is to get to a playoff game, to have a winning season, to get to a Super. I know how tough it is. I didn't put any less effort than these guys are giving out here. But this is their time, man. This is their time. This is the Chiefs' time. Kansas City Chiefs time is here. Dad got it. Now you ready? I'm ready to come Friday. Woo! But man, everybody enjoy it, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. So
we appreciate everybody stopping in on their Wednesday nights, being able to share the Wednesday nights with you guys every year, and we're going to continue this. Obviously, you guys, for all the new people of the Chief Concerns community, JD and I still go Mondays and Wednesdays, even in the off season, but just no Fridays and post game shows. So Monday, Wednesdays, still Chief Concerns nights. So we'll be able to kind of go through the whole off season with you guys. But yeah, let's go through the whole off season coming off a 3-peat, JD.
Yes, sir. Can't wait. I'm excited. So,
yeah. All right,
go ahead.
No, I was just to say, Friday night, our betting show and JD's Into the Dungeon, where JD will go over his keys to victory, his 10 keys to victory, 5 offensively, 5 defensively, and he gives you a parting message as we head into the Super Bowl Sunday. So definitely mark your calendar, Friday night, 8 p.m. for our betting show and JD's keys to victory. But that does it for me. JD, send us off, brother.
Well, man, listen, I'd have said a lot. To me, I still can't say it enough how proud I am of the guys getting here to this level. The difficulty, the adversity they had to go through, seeing guys get hurt and still been able to succeed, get to this point. But I just want to thank each and every one of you all coming out here, come watching us talk. Just give the love to the kingdom, but also to just love to each and every one of you all for the support y'all been giving us over the past couple of years, really. And I told you, you know how I feel about you. You all are family, okay? Chief Concerns family. And what I love about it is the way that y'all treat one another, and here's the way that we should treat each other out there, okay? With love, with respect, praying for each other, thinking about them, sending them energy, and all those things out there, man. That's what it's all about, okay? We're epitome and representative of the kingdom, the Chiefs kingdom. So let's keep the thing rocking. Let's keep the thing rolling. Y'all are incredible people. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm going to say good night to each and every one of you all. G-Pick, love you, my guy. Good seeing you with you, Hall. Appreciate it, sweet. Thank you so much. Someday guest, good seeing you, my man. Richard Jamilo, appreciate it. You're more than welcome. Todd Tofree, my guy. Appreciate it. Don Peterson, my brother. Good seeing you, man. Always good hollering at you. Chiefs fan of Dallas, George. Thank you, sir. I think you said it's the first time you're catching it live. I'm glad you went here, man. Appreciate it. You made us better tonight. About time. My brother. Good to see you as well, man. Always send our love to your family, your wife, especially. Okay, keep it going. Hazy, my guy. Appreciate it. I'm the Brown, my brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I'm the Brown. You know, you always come with that fire. Chief is 65. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Let's get it. Clutch Code, my guy. Let's go, baby. Y'all stay safe. You do the same, my man. True Brucey. Thank you, sir. Brucey. I'm sorry, Brucey. Okay. Had to say it. Brucey. So thanks, man. Appreciate you, Drew. Let me see. Brian Williamson, my guy. Appreciate it. He said I had tears roll down my face. That's how I feel right now. I feel like Chris Jones when he's out there. I feel every bit of that emotion. Don't you, Brian? You feel it. It ain't manufactured. This stuff ain't fake. This is real stuff. This is real stuff. Sasha, how you doing, Sash? Thank you so much for being on here. Thank you for confirming you're in Kentucky. Sash, if you are here close, come to the Super Bowl party we have it on Saturday, the day before. All right, it's going to be a big time, 3 o'clock to 6, 3:30 to 6 o'clock. Okay. Let me see the barbershop. Always good seeing the barbershop. My guy, 100%. Let me see who else we got here. Dennis Mahone. Let's go. JD. Let's go hunting for some birds. Oh, okay. Okay. Good. I like that bird. Greg Rose. Good to see you, my guy. Good to see you like always. Cliff Johnson. Hey, I'm sorry. There are some faces that need to be rubbed in. Maybe. There's some people that are a little bit just, kind of get on your nerves, right? They don't even celebrate when it's like, hey man, listen, you should have, the easy way to rub it in people's faces is like, hey man, great season. Okay. Should have jumped on here and got on the bandwagon with the Chiefs. You had a chance, you had an opportunity, but you didn't. All right. So better luck next year. So Kev, good seeing you, my guy. Appreciate it, man. Garrett Wilson, my brother. What's up, Garrett? Good to see you, man. You already know. Let's go. Appreciate the love, man, and what you said. Great words for us, Garrett. Be seeing you soon. Let me see. Who else? Valorie Sanders. Good to see you, Valorie. Said some good things in here tonight. Always good seeing that. Klabata Kisha, my guy. Good seeing you. I'm glad you in here tonight. KC 30, Philly 28. Okay, I like that. Still Chiefs win. We good with that. Blueberry Wilbur. Good to see you, Blueberry Wilbur. Stu Thompson is in the house. Thank you, Stu. Nana Sherry. Thank you, Nana Sherry. Appreciate it so much for your contribution. Everything you come in, I always love it. Nana Sherry, do not play with her. She's come throw fists at you. Okay? I see it on Twitter. She let them jokers have it.
She does.
Yeah, I like that. Get him, Nana. You see Joe E. Good seeing you, Joe E. In the house. Let me see who else we got in here. I'm gonna try to roll through here real quick. I know there's a lot of people in here tonight. Some new faces. Ray 028. Good seeing you, Ray. Let me see. What's the name? Chiefs fan of Dallas, George. Good seeing you, Josh Zimbauer. Good seeing you as well. Maria DeJonis. Who else we got in here? Lenny the Cool. I know I take it a long time, man, but I like this part. Ikeo. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Zach Devlin, good seeing you as well. Sweetie is in here. Kendrick Fishback, my brother. That's Fish. That's my guy right there. That's my brother for life, man.
Fishback.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see who else is in here tonight that I see. Thomas Pinkerton. Pinky. Good to see you in here, Thomas. Let me see who. Hearts and Roses. No one missed you, Hearts and Roses. I know you got it. Timmy G 123. 13 Seconds was in here tonight. Let me see. And last but not least, I want to say what's up and my love to my nephew, Chad, okay? H. Bird, Neff, get better. Keep fighting the good fight, man. We know how you are. Get stronger. I know how strong you are, the toughest man that I know, Neff. So, hey, pulling for you, praying for you, all right? Everybody put in the prayer for Chad to get healthy and get well. He's going to be ready on Sunday. Go on and get this thing in. He a Green Bay fan, but we trying to get him over. We trying to get him over, okay? Bad habits are hard to break. We know that.
We love you, Chad.
Yes, sir.
Hope you get better soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Double A is in the house, man. Let me see who else in there.
Oh, I also just want to make a comment here. I got notifications that some of the giveaways have been delivered today, but the rest should be there by Saturday. So everyone should have their stuff there by Saturday. So you guys will have your giveaways in time for the Super Bowl. So some of them have, I think, delivered today, but most of them will be there at least by Saturday. So
yeah. Josh Harrison, good to see you in here. D-Tate, I'm glad you was able to see the live now. I know you said you just get to see the reruns. But, man, look, okay? Hey, that's it. If I ain't say your name, you know how I feel about you. We love you. We thank you for all of it, man. Y'all take care. God bless. Come in here Friday. Come see it. We putting some fire there. Betting show, the dungeon, keys to victory. This is what it's going to be. So, hey, man, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Marcus, my brother. Love you, brother.
Love you, brother.
All day. Y'all take care. God bless. Be good to each other. We'll see y'all.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you Friday. Be ready. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.